Hi everyone, it's Margaret Manning here and welcome to Mornings with 60andMe. Today is Sunday, it's August the 14th. So welcome to Sunday, hope you're having a great day so far. I have just been out for a walk around the lake and it's just beautiful today. So I hope that you've got something planned for today that's going to bring you joy and move you forward in your life. We're here to bring you the news every morning on Mornings with 60andMe. If you'd like to tell a friend, you can point them to 60andme.com/mornings and then you'll be the first to know when the news is released. So I'm having my morning cup of tea. Actually, do you like my mug? It's a new mug, I just bought it. I really like it. And I've got a nice green tea. So it's very simple tea this morning. So anyway, I hope that you're got a cup of tea ready, having a nice relaxing morning, and let's tell you what's going on in the world. So, first of all, in Venezuela, I wanted to bring you up to speed. The border with Colombia has been opened and there are thousands of people now crossing the border to get food and medicines that they haven't had access to for some time. So, relieve some of the immediate pressure, but there's obviously longer term problems to be solved. But there we go in Venezuela. Portugal and France are still struggling with wildfires. Portugal has got hundreds of small fires all over the country, and particularly in the north, and also on the island of Madeira. In France, the wildfires in near Marseille are also burning very badly. There are 4 people have died so far in that part of the world, and also thousands have been evacuated. So hopefully everybody will be safe and we'll get these fires under control. It's a very hot summer here in Europe, and of course combined with strong winds, it's really challenging. So, speaking of Europe and Switzerland, where I live, yesterday there was a very sad story on one of the trains in Switzerland. There was an attack. A man, he lit a sort of incendiary device, lit fire to the carriage, and also attacked some people with a knife. I live here in Switzerland. I love the trains. I travel on them all the time. And this is honestly, it doesn't happen often at all. So the police are not releasing a lot of information, but I think the general consensus is that it was a person, with just a personal situation, mental problem, who attacked these individuals and not a terrorist activity. But you really don't know until the police make their final statement. 6 people were injured, including the attacker, and they were a couple of teenagers, and a young child, a 6-year-old. They were all rushed to hospital. I don't know the conditions, but of course our hearts go out to everyone. I hope they're okay. But that's news from Switzerland of all places. In Cuba, a place I'd love to go actually. Has anybody been there? I'd love to know anyone that's traveled to Cuba. But of course it's now opening up to the west. And yesterday was Fidel Castro's birthday. He is 90 years old. Now, he isn't the official leader of Cuba any longer. His brother Raul is in charge, but he is certainly the person in the hearts and minds of the public of Cuba. And everybody is very respectful and fond of him because of the work he did to establish Cuba as a country for the people. Of course, there's all kinds of controversy around his government, and everyone has a point of view about it. But it's his birthday yesterday, 90 years old. So wish him happy birthday. And I just think the world is opening up to each other now. Travel to Cuba is becoming more common, and let's hope that goodwill and positivity starts to permeate this crazy world we live in. A note from Syria, no update from Aleppo today, but there's another smaller town called Manbij that was yesterday freed from IS soldiers. This is a big step forward. It's not far from, I want to say Raqqa. Yeah, Raqqa, which is another very big city. But it's a strategic city in the sense that it was where people would come in from other parts of the world to ISIS to be trained. And in this town of Manjib, people were really under like prisoners. They were being held in prison virtual prison by the IS army, and now they're free. And of course, there were scenes of jubilation from that city. People very happy to be free again from the rule of what appears to be a very violent and situation. So as the ISIS fighters escaped, they took 2,000 people with them in terms of of like, hiding behind them as shields, human shields, but they let them all go, or most of them. So it looks like things are beginning to stabilize. Now, in the Olympics, of course, our hero, Michael Phelps, has won his 23rd gold medal. His last swim was a golden swim, and he is now finished with the Olympics for this year. And the rumor is he is going to retire. So he's done amazing work in bringing swimming, the sport of swimming, to the forefront, and just his personal accomplishments are amazing. So as he left the stage, Mo Farah from Britain started his attempts at gold medals, and he won his gold in 10,000 meter race. He even fell. He stumbled once, and he still won. Mo Farah is a very fast runner. And I'd also want to mention that with Phelps's gold medal and those of all the other U.S. Athletes, they are now the only country that's had 1,000 gold medals. I think that's right. Yeah, 1,000 gold medals just in the history of their participation. So it's pretty remarkable what's been going on at the Olympics this year. In the United States, there have been a couple of stories I've been following, and one very early was that an imam and his assistant were leaving the mosque after prayers. This is in New York, in Queens, and they were shot by an unknown assailant, and this person ran off, and they are now trying to figure out what happened and why. They obviously can't make any judgments about the motives until they catch this person. But this gentleman and his assistant, both elderly men, were killed. So it just goes to show there's still a lot of challenge in the United States. In Louisiana, also in the States, there's been very bad flooding. And this is in the south central part of Louisiana. Some of the pictures have been amazing, really, really bad. 4 people have died. Lots of property has been damaged. Lots of animals have been lost. I mean, but these flash floods, they come so fast. You don't know how to escape with just, yourself. So it's a really bad situation. I hope that everyone in Louisiana, or I'm sure we have 60andMe sisters there, are doing okay. Let us know how you are. Put a comment if you can in the comment section if you're living in Louisiana and dealing with this rain that you're having there. Just dramatic. So I wanted to also give you a couple of stories about the Olympics that you may not have heard, or one story I should say, and that is about the amazing, magnificent Simone Biles. Simone is in Team USA gymnastics team. And I just wanted to give you a very brief overview of a girl who's just had such an amazing life, but started really in a situation you wouldn't expect her to succeed in. And that is, she started in foster homes when she was very young. Her mom had trouble with drug addiction and couldn't look after her children. So they were in foster homes. And finally, at one point, her mother's father and his wife adopted Simone and her sister and brought them up. And by the way, I didn't realize this statistic, but there's millions, I think it's almost 3 million grandparents in the United States who are raising their grandchildren. So anyway, Simone was raised by her grandchildren. At some point, they said to her that she could call them mom and dad, which she did, and the rest is history. They, some by chance, some by, planning, she was put into gymnastics training, recognized for her ability, and then, of course, was sent to the Olympics. She's won all kinds of awards prior to that, but now she is honestly one of the most amazing gymnasts. If you have a chance to look at her videos, you will be in awe. She's only 19 and she's 4'8". So she's a tiny little person, but she just moves through the air like she's flying. She really is remarkable. Just goes to show really though how people who start off in life without all the advantages of others sometimes turn out to be the strongest. And she is certainly an example of that. And this really goes to another story I want to share, is just to talk to people, to women in our community who are feeling that they can't do something that they want to do, that they don't have the confidence or the ability. And I read a story from research in France, I believe, but this research has happened in other places too, saying that basically where people are expected to fail, they will. That if someone doesn't have confidence in themselves, or if someone tells them that they're not good enough or that they aren't going to succeed at something, it's like a self-fulfilling prophecy. they will actually not succeed. So the research has been simply, for example, to tell women in particular that they are strong like a man. They, for example, with math tests where men are, so there's a stereotype, men are better at math. So if you tell a woman that, think like you're a strong man as you approach this test, they did better. So women actually felt if they could put on that male persona that they would do better at a task they thought men were better at. It's really an interesting research because what it shows is that stereotypes do drive our behavior. So if we think we're going to fail, we will fail. If we think we're going to succeed and have confidence, then we will do better. So I think that that's just really my message is that, there's obviously genes, biology, environment, all kinds of things like Simone, for example, where you have opportunities that might help you along your way. But there's also a point that you have to say, I am going to do this, I am capable of doing this, and I will do it. And then you do tend to succeed. It's really, really interesting. So the myths and stereotypes of women over 60 are what we challenge here on 60andMe and encourage women to have confidence in themselves and believe in their own success. So that's my motivation for Sunday today. By the way, did you know that today is Creamsicle Day? And it's so funny, yesterday I was out and it was very warm and I stopped at an ice cream store and I got what I didn't know it was a creamsicle. It was like an orange popsicle with cream inside, like a little bit of vanilla ice cream. And apparently that's called a creamsicle. I didn't know why I didn't know that, but today is Creamsicle Day. So if you're somewhere that they sell creamsicles, go out and get one. And it was actually invented by a young man, like a young 11-year-old. He was an entrepreneur back in 1905. He thought, oh, wouldn't it be cool to put ice cream with popsicle juice? And anyway, so today is your day to have a creamsicle and celebrate. And very finally, I just want to remind you, first of all, that if you would love to get this news first every day and share it with a friend, go to 60andme.com/mornings. And I just love to have you here. Thanks for just taking the time to come join us. Have a conversation in the section below. It's been wonderful watching dialogue between people the last few days and people sharing their lives and what's on their minds and what they're up to. So this community, this time is for you. Now, my woman of the day today, I've asked people, as you know, to tell me something about what they've done in their 60s that they want to share. And I wanted to share someone today that is a really interesting woman for a couple of reasons. One, her name is Beverly Adams. Hi, Beverly. Beverly left her comments below. And I just wanted to share a bit about her. First of all, she's a jewelry designer. She has a beautiful little Etsy shop, and I'll leave the link for it. But Beverly is 67. And she is looking for a job at 67. And the reason I chose her as our woman of the day is that there are other women doing this. And she hasn't worked for 6 years, so she's very nervous about starting off again in a job. But she said that once she got over the shock, she realized she was going to be okay. And that this is what I love about her. This is what she said. She said, oh, it's very warm today. She said, the lucky company who will hire me is out there somewhere, waiting for me to walk in the door. My resume is completed and I'm ready to take on the world. And I just thought that was awesome. That's the start, isn't it? That's the start of where you're taking control of your life and you are doing what you want. So Beverly, congratulations on being our woman of the day. If you see her comments below, give her a cheer, give her a shout out and encourage her. And that's what this is all about. So my question for the day, I think that I'd like to go back to that story about confidence because I really believe in it. And I think that the question I'd like to ask you is there one thing in the world that you would love to do, but you don't have the confidence to do it? Leave your comments in the section below and let's talk about things that are holding us back. What is the one thing that you love to do in the world, but you don't have the confidence to do it right now? So thanks for being here, everyone. Have a fabulous Sunday, and I'll see you all again tomorrow morning for Mornings with 60andMe. Take care, everyone.